All right. So you want to find the next $1 million meme coin in the vast array of, hundreds, if not thousands of different meme coins coming out every day. It's not an easy task and you probably won't always find it, but hopefully in this video, I'm able to give you enough knowledge and tools and things to look at to be able to get you, that much closer to that coin. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be able to understand what coins actually have the potential to, get to this level, right? This is Chill Guy. It's been going pretty viral. It's still pretty viral. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I think that there's two things that have to pretty much check right away for a meme coin to essentially become extremely viral, right? And that's going to be its cultural relevance. And then second, it's going to be the developer / the community. The cultural relevance part of this is shifting all the time, but I think it still has a testament to where its roots come from, right? A meme coin is literally that. It's a meme, right? It is based on an actual meme from the internet, right? So we see Pepe, we see Doge, we see all sorts of different icons and memes like this come about, but now there's a new shift of not only these mascots and things like that, but actual real world events that are happening that are shaping into brand new memes going straight into the crypto scene. As you can see from Peanut went absolutely crazy in a matter of a couple weeks. In a matter of 7 days, I mean, it went from nothing literally to about $1 billion in market cap. So if we go ahead and look over at the Peanut chart, we can see that the developer obviously made a big mistake, and I'll get more into what this tool is and how to better utilize it. But as you can see, developer, he bought in and he sold pretty much instantly. So he probably made a small little bag here. Bought in at 3, bought in at 170, sold at 600, and sold at 386. So he made a couple $100. Not too much to write home about. But the thing with these meme tokens, at least these next generation meme tokens, I like to say, is that the community can pretty much take them over, right? If there's enough buzz about it and there's enough draw, the community can actually just take over the coin itself, and it can reach astronomical heights. As you can see, after just 2 days, right, it already started hitting the millions of market cap from literally nothing, right? We're literally talking 10K, right? The start. This is a pump fund token, so it's something very, very, very tiny, and obviously all the way up here to the hundreds of millions, and even higher as it went on. And then we hit the crazy heights, right? This is when it got listed, and when anything gets listed on a major exchange, they're pretty much sky's the limit, right? And now we're hitting up into the top 100 coins just like that. And this right here was after going into the second week, right? Or coming out of the second week, I'm sorry. Now we're getting a bit of a pullback, downtrend. It's been around for a while, and that's also going to be something with these kind of next generation meme coins, is nobody really knows how long the shelf life is going to be. Pepe and Doge have a lot of staying power because they're a meme that was kind of just generated from the internet itself. This is a meme that was generated from a real world event, but time is to tell how long this can actually sustain itself within the top 100. It already proved that it couldn't stay in the top 50, but these coins might be the next generation of, if you get in early enough, you can get a bag pretty fast, right? And this kind of pretty much proves that, as well as just a Chill Guy as well. This one was even faster, hitting pretty astronomical heights, very similar to what Peanut did, but this was able to do it in a matter of 5 days, right? So we can always learn something from these big coins and how they blow up. This will also help you, moving forward, picking a coin and hopefully having that thing go to the moon, right? So that's cultural relevance. That's going to be a key thing that these meme coins are going to need in order to get to these heights of, hundreds, thousands of X's, right, from where you bought. The next thing is going to be the dev and the community. And I don't know if necessarily the dev should be in this. It's really more of the community, right? I just showed you the dev can definitely play a huge part in it, especially if he's very active, if he's actively pushing the coin and marketing and things like that. But ultimately, once the community gets ahead of it, the community is really going to be that driver that's going to take, a coin from nothing literally to this, right? The developer did nothing to make this happen. This was all just the community and the sentiment around, Peanut and his unfair death, right? So the people decided to take it in their own hands. And, for the most part, a lot of people didn't even know that the dev immediately sold the coin right after he made it, right? He tried to get back in over here, but didn't really go too well. Or this is just a chill guy. I'm sorry. Back over here. So most people don't even know, right? He got out, and that was pretty much it. Now, did he have another wallet address that maybe he bought in over here? Maybe, right? This tool can't predict that. It can't show that. But these are just some things that we got to know. Now, all right, so we have the basic principle of finding a meme that has cultural impact. It's something that the community is, drawn to. It's something that can be drawn to and explode from the community based on its narrative and things of that nature. And now we understand that the community and the developer participation in this is also pretty much vital. How do we actually go about, looking for the coin itself? What is the best way to do that? Now, there is going to be a ton of tools that are available for your disposal. This is going to be one of them. It's Dex Screener. It's going to have a lot of these new meme coins, these altcoins, and it's going to even have Dex Screener's proprietary coin called Moonshot. It's basically a clone of Pump.Fun. Pump.Fun is where most of these meme coins, at least these recent ones, have been blowing up and where people have been making, myself included, 10, 100 X's on a lot of these trades, and a lot of these just holds, right? This is where a majority of them are going to be. Now, the problem with, going straight to the source like this is you never really know which one is going to blow up, right? There's so many that are being made every single second. There's this King of the Hill where if it gets enough market cap after a certain amount of threshold, then it will be placed here for a couple of minutes. And now that's cool, awesome. But this still isn't going to give me the greatest amount of opportunity to be able to filter how I need, right? There's very specific things. So that brings us to Photon. Now, Photon's where I started this video. It's where I'm going to end this video because I think Photon has the best suite of tools that you need to minimize the chance of you getting scammed, rugged, etc. Right? That there are so many scams in the crypto space, not even just the meme, but just crypto in general is probably 95% scams. There's so many scams out there. And if you do not know how to identify them, that's going to be a problem. Photon is going to be able to help you with this. I'll have a link down in the description with my link in there. Do not click any other links in the comment section. There's going to be a ton of bots, I'm sure, that are going to be in this video doing fake comments. Any links or tools that I want to share with you guys, I'm going to put those down in the description. Those are going to be vetted by me 100%. You're going to be good with those links, but do not click anything else in the comment section. Just don't do it. All right, so Photon works very, very simply. For this video, I made a brand new account and put some SOL in there. But essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to click that link. There's going to be a connect wallet button. Let me show you right now. So you're going to end up on a page like this. You're simply going to connect wallet. Now, there's going to be plenty of wallets you can choose from. I'm going to be using Phantom for this one, but you can use Soulflare. You can use other types of wallets. If you want a tutorial on that, I can make that video, but I'm assuming at this point that you kind of understand how wallets work, how to buy, crypto using real world money, and then move that over. Now, again, if there's enough comments, I could do a whole video on how to actually set all this up. But just so I don't make this video too long, I'm going to assume you know how to do this. You're going to connect your wallet, and that's going to be it. And we'll get into the next part. All right, so now that we're connected, how are we going to look for these potential moonshot 100,000x crypto in this seemingly cluttered mess, right? So what you're going to actually do is you're going to go up to the top and you're going to go to meme scope. Now, meme scope is basically going to be all of these pump.fun tokens. It's going to be the ones that are getting close to graduating, and the literally brand new ones that just spawned into existence. Now, basically what about to graduate and graduate means is about to graduate means it's about to hit that threshold of liquidity to where it then will be locked, and then Dex Screener and other tools like that will also get the listing. Graduated means it already hit that threshold, and it could go anywhere at that point. Now, the main things I want to focus on here is not going to be the newly created. I think that these are going to be very, very degen plays. They're really, really hard to be able to navigate just because of the nature of them. They're very new. There's no movement. There's not much money coming in. It's very risky. Now, you could definitely try to. You can spray and pray if you really want to. But again, this video is focused on mitigating your losses and being able to find a coin that has the potential to do these 100x, 1000x moves, right? So, all right, let's look at this one right here. So we're going to start at about to graduate. Now, the one filter I'm going to have on here is going to be pump. Okay, we want at least one social, because the social is going to, I guess, kind of bring a seriousness to the token. It's not guaranteeing that it's not going to be a scam or rug, anything like that, but it will at least add some sort of credibility, right? Now, the other thing we're going to want to add is some transactions. We're going to have at least 200 transactions. We don't want to be looking at a coin that's dead, okay? We want some movement in that coin to give us some type of, information that the coin has the potential. There's people looking at it, transactions are happening, et cetera, et cetera. Everything else we're actually going to leave alone. Again, this is more in discovery mode. We're not looking for something super specific, but we do want to at least have those transactions to know that it's going to be moving. And I'll be able to show you and identify some scams right now as I'm clicking through this. So let's go ahead and open up this one, Pablo and more. Now, looking at the chart like this, obviously we're getting zero information, right? So we're going to go ahead and move to 15 seconds. You can even go as much to 1 second. Now, this is going to be a little bit more for advanced trading, which I'm going to get to in another video when you want to have it this close. But for right now, we're going to leave it at 15 seconds. So as we can see, the chart is actually looking pretty nice. It's going up, had a little bit of a drawback, but people started buying everything back. Now, the problem right now, so the bonding curve actually went ahead and was reached here. So you can't buy or anything. So everything right now is locked in. So this is one of those examples of what happens when a token does hit that bonding curve. As you can see, it's going to be about 30 minutes, then it's going to get migrated to Radium, which is going to be a DEX platform that is going to pretty much carry this coin the rest of the way. Now, what's probably going to happen, what usually happens, like 95% of the time, is once it does hit Radium, it's just going to dump. And that's just normally how it is. That's just how these people, they run their tokens, right? There's a lot of scammers. Again, 95% scam. But this is what's going to look like as it hits that max. And this is what the interface is going to show you as well, just so you have an idea. So this is a pretty good look for the video right here for y'all. Seems like our second one also has the migration, but we can see that the developer not only bought, but also sold as well right at the migration. So there's going to be a dip here, but the community may bring it back. It just depends on, the community, literally. This one is also at the curve. So let's go and find some other ones. All right, so here is one that had a bit of a run before it hit the curve. And we can see that the developer actually sold here. So, all right, so now let's get a little bit more in the weeds here. Let's get a little bit more active. So this is what you're gonna wanna be seeing when you're looking at these coins. You're gonna wanna see some sort of natural-ish wave movement, just like this. So see some buys, see some sells, got some dumps here. Now the DB here, this should be on by default, but this is going to represent a developer buy. Now this is when the developer himself buys, him or herself buys the token, and DS is going to be a developer sell. There's also going to be sniper buys, sniper sells, and insider buys and insider sells. Now the sniper buys and sells are usually from bots. Now, that's going to be pretty obvious. Like I said, this should be automatically on for y'all. What that looks like, if this isn't going to be on for y'all, just go up to other trades and you can just check all of them right here. Always leave them on, never uncheck them. It's a lot of valuable information to let you know whether or not, a coin potentially could be a scam. And we can see the developer sold pretty much all his tokens right here, or at least the ones that he bought right there. So he might still have a little bit of a bag right here. Looks like he has 98 million and he sold about 9.1 million. So he's still technically in the project. He made some gains. It's going pretty crazy right now, and he's probably going to dump all of them once this curve is met. We go ahead and look at the holders. This is going to be the next thing that you're going to want to look at before putting your money into any project like this. So we can see that the liquidity pool is going to be at the top. This is just, don't be worried about this, right? It's just a liquidity pool with 20%. Next is going to be the dev. So we can see the dev is right here with 4.34%, which is a relatively fair amount to hold. Now, if there's anything up in the 20s, up in the 15s, I would definitely be a little bit more skeptical about getting into a coin like that. And then from there, you can see relatively natural numbers, just kind of random. 355, 18, so nothing too suspicious or anything like that. This looks like a legitimate coin in all aspects, but just because a coin looks legitimate doesn't mean that the coin will go to the moon. So something to definitely take note of, right? Now let's go ahead and look at one more coin before moving to the graduated. All right, so here is a good example. So this one is still not it hasn't graduated at all. It's not on that curve. We can see that the developer bought 67 million tokens and sold 67 million tokens. So the developer is out of the rat race here. But obviously we can see that he made a mistake and the coin is still blasting. It's still blasting, right? Now I have this set to market cap. I didn't mention this earlier. It's just easier to see. It's easier to know where you're at in your current position as well, compared to, some random arbitrary long number, right? Some just crazy small decimal number. Not every chart will start like this, but we can see that, very, very little activity, very little volume. And then we see some volume start to pick up, right? Starting to pick up and going in and out, in and out. We look at the holders right now. The holders are looking pretty good, right? Developer's completely out, so he's not even going to be on here. 30% the liquidity pool is pretty solid as well. And we don't see any sniper buys. We don't see any bot activity. We don't see no insider movement or anything like that, which is really, really positive. And that's a good indication that the coin is legit. It's good. And now it's just pretty much up to what the meme is and if the community is going to be backing it enough. Now, usually in these coins, in these scenarios like this, if I, check the socials, so we can see the socials over here in the top right, they do have a Twitter. Let's go check out this Twitter right now. Pretty much it gave us nothing. So it's just a random link to Twitter, which that's unfortunate. And that's a pretty bad sign of the longevity of this coin. So I probably would not put my money into something like this. Again, we're trying to mitigate our risk. We're trying to not lose all of our money and look for, a coin that does have all the potential, checks all the boxes like we mentioned earlier. And this one's close, right? But developers already out, to bad sign. There's not really any profiles, Twitter profiles or anything like that. And obviously because the developer is not in it anymore, close to that bonding curve process. But at the end of the day, this is a coin that will probably go nowhere. All right, so we looked at some in the about to graduate. Now let's look at some that are graduated, some that hit that bonding curve that are, currently moving or currently dying, right? So let's look at this one right here, Mortal. Mortal is at a plus 345K market cap. Now to zoom out here to 15 seconds. And we can see some pretty insane movement, right? So we can see in the beginning, pretty sharp rise, developer buys as well, and then a bunch of sell-offs, right? Because we're chilling here at like 5K. That already getting up here, that's multiple X's from the very beginning. Now this would be an amazing buy if all the boxes are checked in the beginning, right? Because now we get a lot of sells. We see the developer is still in it, so he didn't sell anywhere over here. Somewhere over here would be a great buy if, everything else checked the box, because obviously we can see that it's gone absolutely insane. upward up to almost 1 million in market cap. Now let's go ahead and retroactively look at this stuff. So we see that the developer isn't even in the top holders, which could be a good thing, right? I mean, that can mean that the developer is really into the project and he's not in it solely just for financial gain, even though it's pretty much, you can argue to say that all of them are to some extent. He's not even on here at all, so that's good to know. But like I said, you can always just create another wallet and move stuff around there. There's these things called bubble maps, which will be able to try to show you that if there is activity within certain wallets. There's ways to get around it, so I wouldn't really use this too much as an indicator, but good to see that he isn't a major holder here. You can look at the top traders as well. These are just going to show how much they invested and how much they sold for. So obviously this guy made a pretty fat bag, right? A 9.2K profit, and he's going to be the bigger one. There's little images to identify, whether or not they're a whale based on the size of their wallets and how much of the asset that they currently own. So you can see there's a couple whales here. I don't know what this is, to be honest with you, but there's a lot of them. Then you're able to see your own holdings as well. So now we could go check out the socials. So we click on the Twitter. Seems like he does have something here. He follows a lot of people, but a lot of people also follow him. Seems like he's relatively active. He posts a pretty good amount. I mean, this is almost a lot of times a minute. So, all right, that's good. That checks out. Now he has a Telegram as well, which it seems like it is legitimate Telegram. Now let's go ahead and go back over to his Twitter to see if he has a website, and he does right here. So let's see what this coin is about. Art imbued with the emotions of the physical world. So it seems like some type of NFT project. He has a lot of other things here. So it's Twitter, Discord. Everything looks professionally done, right? Now, do I think that this has, the staying and driving power of, like Peanut or, Chill Guy or anything like that? Probably not. But it's a very professionally made website. You can see that he is very active, and obviously we went to the holders and saw that he isn't holding a lot, apparently, right? Because he's not even listed. He hasn't sold. He got his bag and he still hasn't sold yet, and we can see where it's going. So if we got here just a little bit earlier and we're able to get this dip, or even some dip like this, you would obviously want to wait for it to dip. So if we're looking at this one right now, it seems like we're kind of getting ready to do a little dip again. So what I would do is I would probably line up my buy somewhere around where the lowest low is. So that would be somewhere around 183K. So 183K to me is going to be a safe buy, because I think that it checks a lot of the boxes, right? I don't think it has the potential to go as far as a Peanut did, but if I did want to make, a couple, 10, 20, 30% on this, this is how I would think about buying this. Somewhere around the 183. Always look at where the lowest low is, because that's usually going to be where resistance is. So it's getting pretty close to that low. I see actually the low is like a little bit further, 169. But we can look at these other previous lows over here at 196, 180. And we're getting a bit of resistance here. And this might be it right here. This might be the new floor, and it might just kind of swing back up and do a natural wave pattern. That's kind of how people trade, right? They're trying to figure out where the low is and then sell at the high. So it looks like there's a little bit more resistance. So there's a chance that it might go. You never really know, right? That's the one thing. So you're pretty much just going based on everything you see if you think it has potential. And there we go. It seemed like it for a split second hit our low, but you can see how fast it moves, right? That's where you got to be really quick. And that's why a tool like this is really important, because this will be able to insta buy the minute you click that button. So say I wanted to, buy somewhere around there, I would simply go over here, choose the amount, or type it in myself, go over to the advanced, because this is also really important. You don't want your slippage to be too high. Remember, as high as your slippage is how much you are going to have to make up for. So if you have a slippage of 5, that's 5 in and 5 out. So you have to get over 10% to be able to make a profit here. Now, if you make it to fast, this can also eat some of your profits, not as much as big percents like this, but this will ensure that it tries to buy immediately. Secure is going to make sure that you don't get front run by bots. There's bots that will pretty much buy right on top of you, sell right on top of you. So if you want to avoid that, keep secure on. Otherwise, very fast moving crypto like this, I would probably keep fast on. Now the priority fee, I would just leave it at default, which is going to be 0.008. And the bribery amount, this is very contingent upon you. The site says that it's better if it's at 0.03, but it's really going to be up to you. Now, the one thing I would say is if you do have a higher bribery amount, you also have to be putting more money into the coin. So you need to be, putting 1 SOL. You need to be putting, 1+ SOL, because the fees by themselves will pretty much eat your profits on top of the slippage, right? So these are things you have to think about before getting yourself into a position. Now, if you're going for a long-term crypto play, and if you see this project, it checks every single box, and you think that it could go these hundreds of X's, then some of this doesn't matter, right? None of these fees matter because you're in it for the long game. But if you're going to be trading this a little bit closer, a little bit tighter, and you're going to try to take profits pretty quickly, you're going to want to make sure that all these numbers are aligned and that you're using enough capital so that you counteract all the fees. Now, if we look at the last important piece of identifying these coins, we go down to the data security. We can see that there is one issue, and it lets you know that right down here. The top 10 holders make up 19.85% of the total supply. Now, this could be insider traders, right? You never know. The dev could be a part of this as well. Just because the dev wallet doesn't show a lot doesn't mean that the dev doesn't have some other wallet that owns a good amount. So these are things you have to keep in mind. We're lowering our risk, but we're not completely getting rid of it. It's never going to completely go away. Now, we do know that the mint authority is disabled, which is good. That essentially means that they can't mint or create new tokens, because then that will drive the price down, right? We want the tokens to be set where it's at. Now, freeze authority, we want that also to be disabled, because that will allow the dev to essentially lock the token down to where you can't buy, you can't sell, but they can. So this is something we want to 100% always see disabled. Both of these, absolute requirement. LP burned 100%. This is amazing. We don't want the LP to not be locked. If the LP isn't locked, that means that they could essentially rug in the traditional sense of just dumping all the liquidity and taking your money that way. The way that these coins are built on pump.fun, once they hit that bonding point, that can never happen. That's why they're not rug proof, but they're rug proof in the traditional sense. Now, like I said, the developer could have a really, really big bag. This is how a lot of people are rugging now, and then they'll eventually just sell. Other than that, everything else checks out here. We can see that one holder sold a pretty big bag right here. It was a bag of around 20K. So pretty huge bag. But this would be a perfect opportunity to buy the dip, right? So right here at 140, you can see that big dip, probably buy somewhere 150 after everything, and potentially get a pretty solid little flip right there. And this is, very close flip trading. I'll make a whole new video on how to do that and how to be as successful as possible. You won't win all of them, but I will make a video on that as well. All right, and really quickly, I want to find a scam coin. That way I can kind of show you what this looks like. That way you can avoid it, right? There's a very specific chart that will pretty much instantly identify a scam coin. Now, it's going to be a little bit, oops, this is the same one we just looked at. It's going to be a little bit harder to find these coins in the graduated section, because usually these, not that they're not scams, they definitely could be scams still. You never really know until you go through everything that we went through, diving deep, looking at the holders and all that stuff. But you will find them over in the about to graduate every now and then. All right, so looking fine there. Maybe go over to the newly created, probably be a little bit easier to tell. think that one's literally has been just created. As you can see, the newly created ones, these things move. These things move very quick. You're getting them real time. I mean, this was a simple rug, right? Not much to really see there, though. All right, I've been looking at this for a while, and I'm actually not seeing any of the scam ones that I want to show. So we're actually going to go over to Deck Screener. Deck Screener is going to pretty much, I'll be able to instantly show you what it's going to look like. So let's go ahead and do some filters here. Now, I want the liquidity to be about 30K. I want the market cap to also be about 30K. And I want to see them within the last hour. Now, this is one really quick degen way to do some trades. I don't recommend this, but it is possible. So we can see some of those that were over on Photon. I think this one we already looked at. This could be a scam though. No, this one has some movement. Okay. Shall we see Mortal is over here now as well. And see, let's go back. This was 18 minutes ago. Again, we saw this a lot sooner. We saw this 10 minutes ago, right? So it's an advantage looking at them over there compared to looking at Deck Screener solely for the latest coins. So let's go ahead and sort this by newest. This one came out 33 seconds ago. This is on base. That one seems to be a already rug pulled. This one right here, I can immediately tell this is also a simple rug pull. This is in a different network, so again, they can scam you in the traditional sense. So this one went up here. They most likely just froze the token and drained it, and you won't be able to see the drain part on a lot of these when they freeze it like that. Let's see, maybe this one. This is another freeze one. So again, just take a look at the numbers. You see, they don't really go too high. They just go to a high and they pretty much freeze. But as you can see, there's not a lot of motion there. Now, Radium are the ones that you're going to want to primarily be looking for, but I want to show you what the scam looks like. Again, obvious scam with that one. This right here. This is another example of a scam, but this one's a very hidden scam. You might not tell, but right here, you're going to see a sharp rise in the price. Then you're going to see no activity at all, right? For like maybe 4 or 5 seconds. Then you're going to see a surge up here. It's going to come down all the way pretty much to where it started, but it went down a little bit further and hop back up. Now, what these are going to be is they're bot buys, and they're basically getting people in. The slippage is going to be extremely high, so the people pretty much can't get out. So even if you bought here and you rode it all the way up to here because you know it's going to be pretty predictable, you will still get hit with a 60% tax. And that's how they get you. They try to make these look natural, but obviously still taking it out the 1 second. Always look at these things at the 1 second. You can see that they're obviously just scams. Now, if we go over here and copy this address, we can actually probably put it over into Photon and see all the sniper bots. So let's go ahead and put that in here. Go out to the 1 second. And it's actually looking like it's not showing the sniper bots. So, but I can 100% assure you that this is not a natural looking graph. I think that this platform is only able to tell sniper bots on certain other platforms. I don't think that this is a pump.fun token, so it's not able to tell. I know that the pump.fun tokens for sure will show you that. You can see that obviously the liquidity isn't locked either. So there's a huge spread. And when obviously the value is this high, the market cap is this high at the very beginning, none of this should look natural for you at all. So you need to just look through these, look through them again and again and again. And eventually you'll start being able to learn what is a real coin, what is a scam coin. Okay, there's a lot of scam coins out there. And looking at everything from the 15 to 1 second mark should be a really, really good indicator on whether or not a token is going to be a scam. So I highly, highly recommend you always look at it from that marker. Again, look at this one. It seems like it's okay. Anytime I see this straight line, barely inactivity, and then this sharp little rise, I know for a fact that it's going to be a scam. Even if this doesn't tell me, even if this tells me that these aren't sniper buys, I know for a fact that it's going to be a scam. We look at the holders. We see that the dev owns 61% of all of it, right? That's terrible. Never get into that. Never get into coins like this. It's an obvious scam and it looks appealing, but this should actually start looking disgusting. This should look like something that you never want to see. Even though you see all this green, just know that it's not real. It's all fabricated to get you to buy it and lose your bag, right? Take a look at one more here. Not really finding too many of the really obvious scam ones. This one right here, pretty interesting. It seemed like the dev sold 140. So the dev is completely out of his position, at least from the developer wallet. And it had a pretty insane run. Now, it doesn't seem like there's anything too crazy. Top 10 holders do own 26%. So this is something to definitely keep in mind. But it doesn't look like there's anything necessarily inherently wrong with it. They got a website, they got a Twitter there. This doesn't look as natural of a chart that I see, but I mean, from what I can see from everything else, it seems like this could have been a pretty good move, right? If you got here from the beginning. So I hope that this video helps you get that much closer to being able to identify scams, but also, right, identify those 100x, 1000x meme coins before they blow up, right? You want to find them here, right? Or even here. This is only 59K. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, 59K, and these things go astronomical, right? As we see with Peanut, this is over in the millions right here, and down here was over in, you know, the thousands, like I was saying earlier. Like literally we see with this one, we got the same exact motion, but it's way down here because now we see this 1 billion push. You want to get in over here. This is ideally where you want to get in. You almost don't even want to get in here because you never really know how far it could go. For a meme coin to hit the billions is an astronomical feat. It's something that is, you know, a 1 out of 1 million chance of happening. But if you could at least get in here, then you can get the gains here. And meme coins push fast. This was a couple days before it even got to here, right? And if you held long enough and you saved it to here, it's even crazier. And obviously, if you made it up to the billions, then I mean, you're 100% probably a millionaire if you bought as many tokens as this guy, right? So I hope this video helped. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. I'm never going to sell y'all a course, so never worry about that. So I hope y'all have a good day or night, whatever time you're watching this, and I'll see you next time.